In this video, I'll be sharing with you a requested tutorial from my group on how to cut this cut together shirt. So if this is something you like, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button. So let's dive right into today's video. So here is my pattern already, and I've gone ahead to mark out all my basic measurements for this pattern, and we are starting from the back. So if you're following me on my channel, you know how to mark this all out, but for this is my shoulder to bust, under bust, waist and blouse length. And at the shoulder part, I divided my shoulder by 2. From there, I got my chest line, which is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5. And I'm making a basic neckline, use of a basic neckline of 3 by 1.5 inches or 3 by 1 inch. So for this shirt, it is actually a free shirt. All I'll be doing is I'll be using one measurement, which is my hip circumference divided by 4, and I will add 2.5 inches. So you can add from 2 to 3 inches for this shirt pattern. Go ahead to use your hip measurements to achieve this. So I'm also going to go ahead to mark this at the lower part of my dress. I'll be marking my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 2.5 at the bust, at the under bust, at the waist and at the blouse length, and I'll connect. So if you feel this is not free enough, you can add extra 3 inches to it, and I'll go ahead to place my ruler and connect. So after I'm done connecting my pattern, the next step I'm going to take is also to go ahead to outline my pattern, my shirt pattern. And now I'll be extending my sleeve from my shoulder. I'll extend my sleeve at least up to 9 inches. So this totally depends on where you want the sleeve to stop. And another thing, I'll come down by 1 inch from there, then reconnect it back to my shoulder this way. Also remember, there is a 2 inches band at the lower part of the sleeve, which will also add up to the length of the sleeve. So now you want to decide how wide or open you want the sleeve to be. You can use up to 10 inches or more. So I'm going to mark 8 inches because I'm not really wearing this shirt pattern. So depending on how open you want it to be, then I'll blend it into the bust. Also remember that by the time you add your band, it's going to reduce the size of the sleeve a little and give it that little gathered effect it has there. And that band sleeve will be the round circumference of where your sleeve is going to stop. After this, I'll just go ahead and cut this out. So if there's any part of this drafting you don't understand, go ahead and leave a question at the comment section. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button. So now I'm taking my back pattern and I'm placing it in front of my front pattern. So for the front pattern, I marked about 3 inches or 3.5 in front. You can also use 4 inches. So I'll just go ahead and place my shirt pattern starting from that line, and I'm going to go ahead to blend it all out after drawing out the shape. Now what I'll do is to go ahead to mark my neckline, which I indicated where the neckline stopped when I was drafting this. So for the length of the neckline, I'm using about 6 inches, and for the width, I'm using 3 inches. Now I'll go ahead and connect this and use my marker to outline this. So this totally depends on the depth that you want to use. So from this point, I'm going to curve it out to that 3.5 inches extension that I marked, which will be overlapping the other side. Also note that this pattern will be on fold. That is, you're cutting 2 sides of your shirt pattern at once. So now you need the neckline of the back pattern to draft the collar area of this shirt. So after measuring, what I have is about 4 inches, and I'll place my tape and I will connect. After I'm done connecting, I'll be coming out by 1/2 inch on this side. Now I'm going to go ahead to blend it up. So after blending it up, you want to decide on the size of the collar that you're going to make use of. So I'm just going to make use of 3 inches or 3.5. Go ahead to connect. So from that part now, you're going to come up by this side of your neckline. That is where the collar is stopping, because the other side will overlap the other side of your body. So now I'll go ahead and place my ruler and I will draw this out. So coming over here, you can mark up to like 2 inches, 2.5, depends on how long you want this side of your collar to be. So now I'll just go in a bit by 1.5 inches here to create that notch collar effect, because looking at this pattern is as if the collar was cut together. Now I'll extend this and now connect. So this is the collar I have on this part. So one thing about this shirt, you can decide to cut this all together as one piece, and then this part that has a collar or lapel area, all you have to do is just cut half of, use the same fabric and cut like half of it to act like a facing at the front part of this shirt, or you can just cut out the shirt and go ahead to attach another collar. But I will prefer or advise you to go ahead and make use of the facing method when you're making this shirt. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. So at this point, if you find this video very interesting and educative, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up, leave your comments at the comment section. So if you're cutting a facing for this, you cut like half of this and the same shape you have here. So when you join your shoulder at the back, you now go ahead to join the collar to the back of the dress, just like when you're making your blazer. Or you can go ahead to cut out the collar and fix it back. So with this, we have come to the end of this video.